Good evening. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. This is your sister, Sanette and Angela, this beautiful Thursday evening. I believe the full moon is either Saturday or Sunday, but it is so light outside, and the moon is definitely very visible. It's just a very beautiful evening to take a nice stroll. I did, but I did not go far because I know I shouldn't be walking this late. But anyway, it's beautiful. I saged out the house, opened the windows and the doors, and lit one of my favorite incense. It smells so ancient and mysterious. Shaman's magic. Shaman's magic is really nice. But anyway, I wanted to just come forth and do a brief share, a continuation of a video I did, a part 2. I did a part 1, and I've talked about mental health before, but the last video, control your emotions before your emotions control you. And it's, I believe in somewhat ways it sounds kind of not very empathetic. It seems kind of harsh. Definitely something that you don't want to tell someone when they are in an emotional state or in a critical situation in which they're not able to process their emotions. So it sounds harsh, but it's something that we can grasp early onto before we get into that type of situation. Same as, so you don't want to really talk to someone when they're already sick and educate them on how to get better. In my opinion, you want to prevent. So this is all about prevention and taking control of our health, especially our mental health, because it's a crisis, it's a pandemic really, about controlling our emotions and feelings. And there are different layers, different factors, of course, that occur that will lead us not to be able to or even acknowledge that we have feelings or a problem with controlling our emotions. So I think the first step is knowing that we need to, or there is an issue that we need to resolve in the way that we control our emotions. I'm not saying you can't have emotions. I'm not saying you can't express yourself. You can. But I think there should be a way that we may consider ahead of time how we can detour certain emotions that may get us in trouble. For example, if you're feeling angry or hatred towards someone, perhaps you can get in a project that you can maybe write petitions, or you can go to Congress, or and talk about the rights of children, just different situations where you can channel that energy instead of directing it towards someone to cause harm to yourself or others. Even certain exercises, running, can help you control your emotions. I know that helps me sometimes. Walking, boxing, karate, different things where you can detour or channel your emotions so that you're not hurting yourself or others. So acknowledging that is a first step to doing that, and wanting to do that to protect yourself and others is very, very important. And another factor that's very important with not being able to control our emotions is understanding that we can't control others, how they treat us. We really can't. Some of us can barely control ourselves, but it's very important to understand that, we can't control others. We don't own no one, not even our own children. Having attachments and unable to detach is so very, so profound and not discussed enough that, not having deep attachments. I have children too. I raise and help raise a lot of children, actually. I've been around a lot of children. And I had 4 children in the home at one point. And learning to love them was easy. Learning to attach to them was easy. But when it came to detaching and let them be in their own individual selves, it wasn't an easy task, but I knew that I had to do it. And so that's been a process. It's done now. I have not totally detached, but a healthy detachment for them to help them be their own individual selves without controlling the things that they do, the people who they want to be around, etc., etc. So that's very, very key to understand. And as far as being in relationships and wanting someone to treat you a certain way, you still have to understand that we don't have any control over how someone treats us. We can influence them, even in my past relationships. If I felt someone wasn't treating me a certain way, I would argue and ask why, this, that, and the other. This was in my younger years, of course. And I decided one day, hey, I can't control their emotions and their feelings, but what I can do is put that energy back into myself. How am I going to take care of myself emotionally, mentally? And I focused on that. And if that didn't influence them, there was nothing else that could be done. So you let them be who they are. And you don't have to settle for that. Of course, you can express yourself. I'm not saying don't express yourself, but definitely, channel that energy more so into yourself, and not to put that energy into making someone treat you or love you the way that you want to. That power resides within yourself. So those are just a couple of things to continue to discuss emotions and mental health, and making sure that we definitely control our emotions before our emotions control us, because emotions, that's energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's always here. The energy that resides in us that we continue to make, and the energy that we outside of us that influence us, that we can see and not see, has an impact on us. And different things can influence different positive and negative energy upon us as well, such as the foods we eat, the environments we in, if we consume alcohol, if we consume drugs, that can affect our energy too. So those are just some things to consider. Certain vitamins and supplements can also influence our mental state. D3, I think now that we have grasped that, and I've been saying that for years, that D3 is a hormone. So that definitely controls our mental health. Exercise influences our serotonin and our mental health. I do a lot of walking, and there's a difference, in the wintertime, not being around the sun a lot, that it can also affect that I'm not doing a lot of walking. It can interrupt, your mental health as well. So you have to find other factors that'll help you continue to move and promote serotonin and melatonin in your body. So those are different things to consider as well. We know not to consume as much sugar and carbs. That's not a good thing to say around these holidays, but being around people that love you and influence you to be happy is very important as well. That's all positive energy. That's your environmental energy that affects your mood and your happiness as well. Again, we cannot control others, as much as we think that we can. But I think detaching or not having too strong of attachments can help us go more within and basically influence our own emotions and how to control our emotions. And when I say control emotions, I'm not saying don't have emotions. but definitely being able to control your emotions before your emotions control you, and you are like, hey, I never thought I would do something like that, happens. We don't want that to happen. We want to talk about it now and grasp a hold of it, so that we know mental health, or the lack of mental health, is on the rise. I've said that, I believe, last year, probably at the start, well, a year or two ago, probably at the start of the pandemic. But different emotions are here, and it's definitely an energy that's in the air that we have to grasp a hold of, and become more in control of our emotions before our emotions control us. Okay, this was part 2. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful, something to continue the conversation, and I'll be back to further continue the conversation or this video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.